E. Stanley Jones, a really big influence on me early in my spiritual development, used to say that the gospel of Jesus Christ has two parts. He said there is a redemptive part, a redemptive message to the gospel, the story of Christ's death, burial, and resurrection, the message of forgiveness. And then he said there is an ethical side to the gospel, the Sermon on the Mount, the moral instructions that we're given, the transformed kind of life that we're supposed to lead. Those pull apart, and we wind up with half Christianities. They've got to fit together. The question, it seems to me, is how does virtue develop in us as Christians? How does the ethical side of the gospel relate to the redemptive side? You perhaps have read Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. He decided one day that he wasn't nearly as virtuous as he thought he needed to be. And so he sat down and wrote a list of virtues that he thought needed to be cultivated in himself. And he created a chart and then gave himself to the weekly development of these virtues. And at the end of every week, he would check the box that the virtue had been acquired. And at the end of 13 or 14 weeks, he concluded he was a virtuous man. I'm not sure that's how it works. I'm not sure that we can decide to be virtuous and then by our best efforts, by willpower, by setting our jaw and clenching our teeth, that we can power through to virtue. I'm much more inclined to think of it as Jesus talked at the end of the Sermon on the Mount about fruit being produced from trees. He said a thistle can't produce figs and a fig tree can't produce thistles. We produce the fruit that is natural to who we are. The redemptive side of the gospel says that we are children of God. The ethical side of the gospel says, act like it. Let the fruit develop. I think that's how virtue develops.